Now we're going to talk about four-way vowel harmony. Vowel harmony in Turkish is the process by which the vowel in an ending or suffix changes, harmonizes to become more like the vowel in the final syllable of the word that ending is attaching to. Four-way vowel harmony, what we're talking about today, appears in Turkish verbs and also in a number of Turkish case endings and other suffixes. Fortunately for us, it's also quite simple. We're going to look at four-way vowel harmony using the suffix sız, meaning without, as an example. Let's have a look. Because this is four-way vowel harmony, that means that the suffix using four-way vowel harmony will take on one of four different forms depending on the nature of the vowel in the word it's attaching to. So, for example, the suffix sız can appear as siz, süz, sız, or sus, depending on what the vowel is in the final syllable of the word it's attaching to. Let's take a look at how we decide which of these four suffixes we're going to choose. For four-way vowel harmony, we divide Turkish's 8 different vowels into 4 different categories. One category for each possible form of four-way vowel harmonizing suffix can appear. That may sound a little complicated, it's really not. Believe me. Let's take a look at our first category. E and I constitute the 2 vowels of our first category, front unrounded vowels. That just means that you articulate E and I, the front unrounded vowels, in the front of your mouth and without rounding your lips. That's pretty simple. Now, if you see E or I in the final syllable of a word to which you want to attach a four-way vowel harmony suffix, like siz in any of its forms, you're going to need to decide which form to use. Let's take a look at an example. Anne, the Turkish word for mother. Let's say you want to use the suffix siz to say without a mother, or motherless, to make this adjective, motherless. Well, look at Anne. There are 2 different vowels. The only one we care about is the one in the final syllable. E. E is a front, unrounded vowel. That means, for four-way vowel harmony, that it's going to take the form of the suffix that uses the corresponding vowel. So here's E, as in Anne. We're going to want to use the form with I, siz. So to make the adjective motherless, we'll choose siz. Anne, siz. That's not so bad. Let's take a look at another example. Let's say we want to make an adjective that means without work. We'll start with the Turkish word for work, iş. The vowel in the final syllable, the only syllable of the word iş, is I. Look at our chart. Front vowels, unrounded, here it is, I. And unsurprisingly, I harmonizes, corresponds best with itself. So its suffix vowel is going to be I, which means for us, going back to our project down here, we want to make an adjective using siz that means without iş, without work. So we're going to say iş siz. That's our first category down right there. Let's take a look at the second of our 4 categories of vowels for four-way vowel harmony. Our second category are also front vowels. They're also articulated in the front of your mouth. But these are rounded front vowels. That means you do round your lips when you say them. Our 2 rounded front vowels in Turkish are Ö and Ü. When you see or u as the vowel in the final syllable of a word to which you want to add a suffix, like siz, which takes four-way vowel harmony, that means that you want to choose the form of the suffix that contains the corresponding harmonizing vowel for these front rounded vowels, and u. And that is, in fact, u. So, let's take an example with our practice suffix siz. Let's say we want to make an adjective meaning without an I. We'll start with the Turkish word for eye, göz. The vowel in the only and final syllable of the word göz is ö. Look on our chart. Front, rounded, here we go, ö. That's going to correspond to the suffix vowel, u. What does that mean? Well, let's look at our choices. We're going to choose süz. Göz, süz, without an I. Let's look at another example. How about if we want to make an adjective that means busless or without a bus? We'll start with the Turkish word for bus, otobüs. Ooh, we have an U. Let's look at our chart. Front vowel, it's rounded. You round your lips when you say U. Here we go. Its suffix vowel is also going to be U, which means for us, we're going to choose the form of our suffix siz, which incorporates that harmonizing vowel, U. Otobüs, süz. Now, I want you to notice again both the vowel in the suffix and the vowel in the final syllable of both of these words is front and rounded. They're in harmony. Let's take a look at our third category. Now we're moving on to the back vowels. These are the vowels that you articulate more towards the back of your mouth. The first category of back vowels, our third, is back unrounded vowels. So the two vowels in Turkish that you articulate at the back of your mouth without rounding your lips. These are a and ı. When you see a or ı in the final syllable of a word you want to add a four-way vowel harmony suffix to, you're going to know that you want to choose, of the four options you have, the four ways, you're going to choose the one that contains another back unrounded vowel. Look at our chart. If you see a or ı in the final syllable of a word, your four-way vowel harmony suffix should also include an ı. Let's take a look at a concrete example. Kitap, the word for book in Turkish. Ooh, there are two vowels in kitap. Which one are we going to look at? We only care, for the purposes of vowel harmony, about this vowel here, the vowel in the final syllable of the word. Let's look for a on our chart. It's a back, unrounded vowel. That means it's going to correspond with ı, which means when we go to choose our form of siz for kitap, for an adjective to mean bookless, we're going to choose a form of siz which contains that ı. So we're going to choose siz. Kitap, siz. Let's take a look at another example. If you want to make an adjective that means without light, we'll start with the Turkish word for light, ışık. Ooh, look at that ı. This is a back unrounded vowel. That means, again, we're going to choose the form of the suffix, which also contains a back unrounded vowel to conform with four-way vowel harmony. So, to make an adjective that means lightless or without light, we add which of these? Siz. So, ışık, siz. the shuk ss, without light. We're already at our fourth and final category for Turkish vowels in four-way vowel harmony. These are the back rounded vowels, o and u. If you see o or u in the final syllable of a Turkish word and you want to add a suffix like ss, which abides by four-way vowel harmony, you're going to choose the form of the suffix which harmonizes best with a back rounded vowel like o and u. In other words, you're going to choose the form of the suffix which actually contains u. In this case, sus. Let's take a look at a couple of examples. Çocuk, the word for child. Let's say we want to form an adjective that means childless using ss. Well, let's look at our word. The vowel in the final syllable is an u. Look at our chart. U is a back rounded vowel. That means we're going to choose which of our suffixes in our four-way vowel harmony, which of these harmonizes best with the u in çocuk? Sus. So here we go. Çocuk, sus. Without a child or childless. One more example for our final vowel, o. Let's say, for some mysterious reason, you wanted to create an adjective that meant without a ram, without a male sheep. The word for ram in Turkish is koç. Koç. Let's look at the vowel in our only and final syllable. Okay, it's back, it's rounded. You round your lips when you say o. So we need a version of the suffix ss, which also contains a back rounded vowel. You take a look, the only answer is sus. So without a ram or ramless would be koç sus. And that is four-way vowel harmony.